Hi everyone, welcome to the Savvy Italian Kitchen. My name is Vanessa and today we're going to be making some treats for Valentine's Day. So first up are going to be heart-shaped Pop-Tarts filled with strawberry jam. So what you'll need for this recipe is 2 store-bought pie crusts, just very easy. I even buy the store brand. You're gonna roll them out and we're going to use cookie cutters to make them into heart shapes. You'll also need 3/4 of a cup of jam. Now I chose strawberry jam because we like the flavor and the color also goes well for Valentine's, but you can use whatever flavor you'd like. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of cornstarch that we're going to mix with the jam just to keep it together. And then we're going to make an icing once they come out of the oven and they're cooled with 1 cup of powdered sugar, a little over a tablespoon of softened cream cheese, and about a tablespoon of milk or cream. And then to that, we're going to add some sprinkles, and you can also use some food coloring to color the icing. So I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do with that yet, but we're gonna start out with the Pop-Tarts themselves. So what I did was I took a cookie cutter. Now this is about a 2.5-inch cookie cutter. You can use larger sizes. You can use them a little bit smaller, whatever you want. I happened to get these at Walmart. They were like 99 cents, so they were pretty reasonable. So what we're gonna do is just put the cookie cutter down on the dough, just like that, just like you're doing cookies. And we're gonna do another one the opposite way and just take off the extra. And I think you'll probably get, with the 2 pie crusts, you'll get about a dozen altogether. So I've just rolled out 1 pie crust so far. So what we're gonna do to this, well, actually first we're gonna add the cornstarch to the jam. So let's start with that. So I'm gonna add a tablespoon of cornstarch to the jam. Now I chose seedless jam. That's up to you. You can use whatever flavor that you like, but I just thought it would look a little bit better if I used, just regular smooth jam without the seed. So I'm just gonna use a little whisk to just get this together. And I left this out at room temperature. Let me just do this over the sink here. I left it at room temperature so it was a little bit easy to mix up. And we're gonna put about a little over a teaspoon into the center of each. And then we will put the top on it and we'll use a fork to crimp them together. So there we go. That, you could see that there. So that came out a little bit lighter once we added the cornstarch. It almost looks like a softer red or pink. So it's a pretty color. I mean, you could use grape. Purple would look wonderful for Valentine's Day also. Okay, so I thought I had a spoon, I guess not. So let me get the teaspoon out. So we're gonna just put a teaspoon or so right into the center, just like that. And we're gonna spread it around. Just try to stay away from the edges as much as you can because you know some of it's going to leak out. Okay, just put that in there. Oh, and I did forget, we're also gonna put an egg wash on this. So I will have the recipe loaded and that will go onto the website and it'll be on the social media pages. So we're just gonna add the other heart right on top and we're just gonna crimp it together just like that. Just go right around the edges. And this is something fun just to, chocolates are good. I love chocolate, but I think it's overdone. I think it's nice if you can make something like this for breakfast or just as a dessert. It's nice for the kids and even for the adults. Just a nice little surprise, an extra treat on Valentine's Day to show them how much you love them. So what I'm gonna do with this is brush it with an egg wash. I'm going to set the oven at 400 degrees. We'll put them on the cookie sheets and we'll bake them for about 12 to 15 minutes. So I'm gonna finish up the rest of these and I'll come back when they're out of the oven and we'll start with the icing. Well, our Pop-Tarts have baked and cooled. Before they went into the oven, I brushed them with an egg wash. We baked them at 400 degrees. It took about 15 or 20, I'm gonna say about 17 minutes. So that's going to depend on your oven, of course, and it's also going to depend on how thick you roll out the dough. So as you can see, some of the jam oozed out, but I think that gives it a nice homey look, and they're pretty well baked on the other side. While they were baking, I mixed together 1 cup of powdered sugar, a little bit over a tablespoon of cream cheese at room temperature, and 1 tablespoon of cream, or I used half and half because that's what I had on hand. I mixed it together and I did put it in the refrigerator while the Pop-Tarts were cooling and baking. So, or baking and cooling rather. So you can either just drizzle the icing on there, or you can spoon it on and let it, drip down the edges, and then add, I'm gonna add some sprinkles. I also added a squirt of red food coloring to make the icing pink. I just thought it would be a nice contrast. So we're gonna start out, I'll drizzle a couple of them and then I'll put the icing on one, and then we're gonna give it a taste. So I just have a fork and you can see the consistency of the icing. So we're just gonna go ahead and go back and forth a little bit like so. And I have I cooled them on a cooling rack, and I put a little bit of parchment paper underneath just to catch the dripping. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of these fun multicolored sprinkles on there, and then I'm going to do one with the icing spread on the top, just trying to keep it within the heart. Let's see if that works. So again, this is a fun treat for dessert or for the kids after school, or just on Valentine's morning, or anytime really. And they're a little bit healthier than the store-bought Pop-Tarts. So there, I just drizzled the ones over here and spread the icing on there like that. And there you have it. So this actually, using 2 pie crusts, I came out with 11. I couldn't get a baker's dozen, I got 11, so we'll go with 11. So anyway, I'm just gonna taste a little piece, break it open here so you can see it while these are drying. Let's just put that aside, and we'll open it up and see what it looks like inside. And yeah, they look pretty good. The crust is a little flakier than your typical store-bought Pop-Tarts. And then the jam is in there stayed together pretty well because we had cornstarch in the jam. So let me just give this a taste. Oh, that's really good. Flaky crust, the nice sweet jam is just a nice combination, would be perfect with a cup of coffee or tea, or even a glass of milk anytime. So thanks for joining us in the Savvy Italian Kitchen today. I'm still chewing, my goodness. And I hope you try the recipe. If you do, let me know. Thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye-bye.